Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate the comments about how we care for children and how we educate children in this state. I think that's vitally important. One of the committees I serve on and have for the 9 years that I've been in the House is the Early Learning Committee. And why am I serving on that committee? Not so that we can educate young children necessarily, but maybe we can get their parents engaged in their educational process. I think that's the benefit of early learning. That's why we're doing that. But the best thing we can do for children who are at risk is not make them be at risk. And how do you do that? You make sure that their folks have jobs to support them. That's one thing I think we don't tend to understand a lot on this floor, is that it's the jobs that drive the economy, that keep the people hired. I saw some interesting statistics in a committee a couple of weeks ago about the impoverished areas in this state, the folks with the highest unemployment rates. Well, guess what? There were the highest suicide rates as well. Having a job is something that is imperative for people, and it gives them a sense of worth and a sense of well-being. And I think sometimes we fail to recognize that. Do I want to do great things for struggling families? You bet I do. But I think the best thing we can do is make sure that we're not driving jobs out of this state by overtaxing industries. I make sausage and I make laws, the two things you should never see being made in this world. But they're both extremely similar processes. Your product starts out looking like this, and by the time it's done, it looks completely different. And I just would submit to you that it's really important that, as a small business owner myself, and I've struggled. I have a passion for this business because it's my business and it belonged to my husband who's deceased. But the reality is, I could have more employees in my business if they weren't taxing my gross receipts for that business. I haven't made a nickel off of my business. I make a darn good product, though, and so I want to keep going with that business. But if we continue to egregiously tax business owners who are providing those essential jobs that are helping keep our families healthy, we are cutting ourselves in the throat. And I would please ask that we put this bill down and take a look at a nice balanced budget that's going to get us out of here without adding additional agony to the folks that are making and providing those jobs in this state.